Hello and welcome to Ryno's Ravens preview. Yeah, it's been a bit since I've done a Ravens show. I was planning on doing one a little bit after the draft, some analysis or something, but really wasn't a whole lot to go on. At least at that point in the off season. We're technically still in the off season. This, I guess, I would consider beginning of my season covering them. One preseason game down. There's another one coming up soon. Really hasn't been a whole lot to talk about. There has been a few things. There are a few older news items that I will get to. But two of the more recent ones are going to center around free agents. As you can see, I'm on BaltimoreRavens.com. Let's get to the first one. Bam, you can see title of this article, pretty obvious. Ravens finally signed Jadeveon Clowney. Ravens have been after him for a few years, but money and other teams and such and such and such and such hasn't been made possible until now. Now, not sure how excited to be about this, as Clowney is getting up there in age. Is he an upgrade over a veteran pass rusher like Justin Houston? Potentially. I think Clowney is a little younger. It is only a one-year deal. It's a relatively small number, around $2 million, but incentives in the contract could make it up to $6 million, as Ryan Mink, editorial director, has made this article. I think he does credit Jeff Zrebiec from The Athletic on the numbers of the deal. $2.5 million, incentives that could max that out at $6 million. I have been clamoring for a pass rusher for I don't know how long. Probably since Suggs left and or started getting a little old. Now, I know they have Owe and Jabo, but haven't seen that much production out of them in the past year or two. So potentially adding Clowney to that mix should hopefully increase the pressure the Ravens can put on quarterbacks, because if they don't blitz two or three guys, they usually don't get anywhere close. Another signing, Ronald Darby. Again, this article was also written by editorial director Ryan Mink. Do not see the numbers. Did not see the numbers of the contract, but this should be a one-year deal, right? Yeah, one-year deal. It's not a huge name, I don't think, but should be an upgrade to the injury-prone and current injured status of the Ravens cornerback core. And why is that news? Well, Marlon Humphrey undergoing foot surgery. This is not like a huge injury. It's not like he tore something in his foot or something really bad that could land him on injured reserve for a year-ish. Allegedly, and again, article also written by editorial director Ryan Mink. It is entirely possible that this injury and this surgery won't have Humphrey missing any regular season time. That, I would say, is a little on the optimistic side. I would expect Humphrey to miss at least the first two games of the regular season. See how things go. especially if Ronald Darby plays well, then you won't feel the need or the pressure to bring Humphrey back. Maybe get him another week of rest, getting back into game shape. So a little bit of good news and bad news for the Ravens defense, which I feel has not gotten as much love as the offense. In recent years, it seems like everybody that the Ravens bring in or draft and develop offensive side is part of this whole revolution thing. But you can't have a hotshot young quarterback like Lamar Jackson on the other side, nobody on the defense. How do you get Lamar the ball? The other team is just driving up and down the field like the Ravens like to do, holding on to the ball 40 minutes, 45 minutes. Lamar doesn't have the ball. He can't do anything. You're paying him to do nothing. So you really do want to have players on the defense to get some stops. Another injury that seemed like a concern about a month-ish ago. Bateman not reporting to one of the camps, mini camp, training camp, super camp, whatever the hell goofy name you want to call it. But it would appear that it's more precautionary. Something to do with the injury not going exactly right, wanting second opinion or something. And again, Ryan Mink, editorial director, also wrote this article. Jesus, is Ryan Mink doing all the work himself? Also why I waited a little bit. You hear news. People get excited about football, want to hear their news. Well, some of it, you get some of this information real quick and don't have that much time to get the details or see what that actually means. Wait a week to see how the dominoes fall. So just the thing I'm doing, I guess, having some patience and waiting until there's a little bit more than one thing to talk about. But it would appear that nothing, at least as of this point, when this article was written about a week ago, I guess, nothing should be keeping Bateman off the roster for the regular season. I mean, there's nothing here as far as news that says Bateman is re-injured. Even this article right here, little thumbnail for it, says Bateman and Dobbins ramp up practice activity. So that is good news. All right, what's the schedule? 2 more preseason games left. Yes, the Ravens won their first preseason game. Who cares? I'm not going to do a preview and a review show on some preseason game. I don't even care about them. Probably even shouldn't exist. Let's get to real football. You don't even see the players you've gotten to know and love. So it doesn't really matter that much to me. But Ravens win another preseason game. Hopefully they can carry that forward to the regular season. Let's take a look at some of the transactions. As you can see, they signed a lot of their draft choices there. And that's about where I wanted to start. Here's where Bateman got put on a did not report list. Physically unable to perform. Around the same time, there were talks that the Ravens were talking to Melvin Gordon III, running back. We got Dobbins and we got Gus Edwards and Justice Hill is still around. Do we really need a third running back? Who knows? I mean, you've got so many wide receivers. I don't know if we have enough of the football to go around. Feed another mouth, you know. One football. There's only one football. But that being said, Dobbins and Gus Edwards are relatively young. Melvin Gordon is somewhat of a seasoned veteran. Someone that has played the game at a higher level. So it can benefit the Ravens. We'll see. Here's one name that Demarion Williams, also known as Pepe Williams, passed physical and was removed from physically unable to perform list. This is, almost 3 weeks ago now, but some of these guys are getting healthy. Pepe was injured early last season. He is a slightly smaller corner, but he does appear to have some talent. Now, is he going to be a starter? We'll see. Like I said, he's a relatively young guy. We'll see about his progression. But it is good news, especially, knowing that Humphrey is going to miss some time. Unclear how long that will be yet. Patrick Ricard was also injured, but passed physical and off the PUP list. And here's the Bateman news. Bateman passes physical, removed from the PUP list. Broderick Washington, defensive tackle. Ravens have had a history of having really good defensive tackles. Now, yes, we lost Calais Campbell. A little bit of a swing guy between defensive tackle and defensive end, but Ravens have always been very good on the interior of their defensive line. The exterior has been somewhat suspect over the years, but this would appear to shore up one of the main guys in the middle for the next it's actually a 3-year contract extension, so 3 years plus whatever he already had, I guess. J.K. Dobbins passes a physical off the PUP list. Also, more good news. Signed DeAndre Houston Carson, another defensive back. Adding some depth. Here's the Darby sign. Waving a few guys. And here is signing Jadeveon Clowney. Now, I do point this out because, yes, there is an article. And it says they signed him. And, yes, usually they're not going to make an article and saying that such and such person was signed if it hadn't actually happened. But papers were signed, NFL signed off on it. So it's an official transaction. So it is more real now. Yes, we did sign Clowney finally after how many years of trying to get Clowney on his team because we need a pass rusher of that nature. Yeah, I mean, we all remember seeing the clip of him, his last year in college, just absolutely shedding and destroying the offensive line and then wrecking this poor running back. Just trying to do his job and just comes and gets, I don't know, almost look like something worse happened to him than just getting tackled. But hopefully he's not too old and there is still some juice left in that tank. Because we can put some pressure on the quarterback with Jadeveon Clowney and some of the other guys. Let's go to the depth chart and get some of the other names on this list. Now, this has not been updated. Well, let me refresh. I don't know how old this is, if they even put him on a depth chart yet. It doesn't look like Clowney or Darby are on this depth chart. But take a look at Manabike and Pierce and Broderick Washington. Big guys on the defensive line. Listed Broderick Washington as a defensive end here, but it does look like they want to play with big, lane cloggers, mostly on the defensive line, and then go to a more 3-4 style, which is fine because he's still got Adafe Owe, David Ajabo, got Roquan Smith still around. He's going to be around for a while. Patrick Queen. You add Clowney in that mix. Should be an upgrade over Justin Houston. Justin Houston is a fine player. Just got a little long in the tooth. Marcus Williams still around. I'm pretty sure that was a 3-year contract. But you add, oh God, who is it? Darby. You're adding Darby to this list makes it look a little better, I think. All right, now let's go back up to the offense. Something I'm talking about a lot, and I get it. Offense is very exciting. It's not exciting as much for me. I do like defense better. Start with the offensive line, how they list it as pretty much how it has been. It's like Morgan Moses and Falele will be on the right side. Zeitler locking down the guard. Linderbaum at center. Stanley at left tackle. Now, I see McCary here as second on the depth chart for left tackle. Now, as far as I can tell, McCary is a very good offensive lineman. Can play pretty much anywhere. Can play center, but he's not the greatest snapper. John Simpson is somebody that I didn't see that on the transaction list. John Simpson he's not a total rookie. I don't even remember where the hell I saw this. He came from somewhere. Where did he come from? He's been in the league for about 3-4 years. 4 years he came from, what team was he playing for? The Raiders. So he has some experience, not a whole lot. It's not like he's some rookie out there. I gotta believe that because we lost Ben Powers, sad. We do still have Ben Cleveland here. I'm not sure John Simpson is an improvement over a McCary or Cleveland, but we'll see. He may be more of a pass protector, and that's what the Ravens are trying to move towards. Lamar Jackson's still here. Tyler Huntley, Josh Johnson still backups. There's Ricard. You can see the long list of running backs. Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins, Justice Hill, and these 3 names over here, one of them being Melvin Gordon. So we'll see. This is something with the wide receivers. Again, you sign Melvin Gordon. He's going to be, you have Edwards and Dobbins. Justice Hill isn't, that great of a replacement for them should you need it. Melvin Gordon probably is, but it's more money and another mouth to feed to keep happy. If you're not throwing Odell Beckham the ball enough, he's going to be upset. I would almost say that Nelson Aguilar, Bateman, Duvernay, they're not going to be happy either. I think these guys on the 4th spot, I think they're more guys they don't know about yet. Laquan Treadwell, Zay Flowers, who you just spent a 1st-round draft pick on. You got to feed these guys too. You got to feed them the football, but there's only one football to go around. Only one. There's one. There's not 4 or 5. So how many running backs do you need? And how many wide receivers do you need? When, as far as I'm concerned, you got, now maybe I don't pay enough attention to other teams, but you got probably the 2 best 1-2 combo. Not everybody can have 2 number 1 tight ends, but we got Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely. And Isaiah Likely looks really good to me in his pass catching abilities. So you like the potential potency of the Ravens offense, you do have to take care of the defense. Clowney and Darby are a step in the right direction. Hopefully Humphrey will not miss too much time. And just because I like talking about the schedule to wrap up a video, hopefully we can get, because it is, what's this, September 10th? It's August 19th, so 3 weeks for Humphrey to get back into game shape. Hopefully that will be nice, but Clowney does need to get up to speed on the defense, which shouldn't be too hard, and hopefully Ravens defense can wreak havoc on the Houston Texans September 10th at M&T Bank Stadium. It's a 1 o'clock game, so we're getting down to it. What's that? What I just said, 3 weeks is till the opening game. Whew. Feel like it's been a long off season. All right, that's going to do it for me. This episode of Ryno's Ravens Preview. Be sure to like and subscribe. I am the Angry Ryno. Fly, Ravens, fly.